Hey, if you're looking to get Amazon PPC reports in Google Sheets, I'm going to take you through how you can use Gorilla ROI and bring your Amazon PPC data, sponsored reports, sponsored brands, and all the other things related to Amazon PPC directly into Google Sheets. Now, unless you're an Amazon expert and you love looking into all the things that they continually come out with, on the All Tools section, there's more reports than ever before. There's more data points than ever before. So the question is, how do you get out of that noise and truly get the information you want without spending so much time trying to generate so many different campaign reports, different Amazon sponsored brand reports, going through what type of target, what type of keyword matches, whether it's a loose match, broad match, all of that information. Let me start with a sponsored products campaign report that I extracted. You'll see that up to column U, you have all of this data, but it leaves out a lot of other information that Amazon could have appended onto the reports, right? And Amazon, the good folks at Amazon, they obviously have your best interest at heart, wink, wink. And so you're not going to be able to see all of that unless you extract all of these different reports and then be able to combine it together. But let's see how I can quickly do this and build out a very similar report in Gorilla ROI. Go to create new query, select Amazon ads data, and then select the Amazon account. So if you've got 5 Amazon accounts, if you're an agency and you've got like 30, you select the one that matches. For this example, my Amazon account is called Test Seller 2. I'm going to load it for the US account. For the period, I'm going to, let's say, make it easy, last 30 days. Select the data set that you want. So for this particular Amazon PPC report, I'm going to pull the campaign in order to match the CSV I extracted and I showed you. And then for the metrics, rather than just selecting one or two or a few, I'm going to select everything. Okay, so all the metrics that is offered by Amazon, I'm going to pull it all into one single report. I'm going to save this query and I'm going to call it, I'm just going to leave it as it is because it's ads data and I'm getting a campaign report. And let me actually just switch over to the campaign here. And I've already got something here, but let me pull it and let me load it into, say, row 63. I'm going to save it and it's going to start running. Overall, because there's so much data, it's going to take about 10 seconds to load. But when you consider the 10 minutes that it takes for you to download it from Amazon and then to clean it up, which takes maybe another 10 minutes or so, plus you have to download all of those other reports and combine it, 10 seconds goes by really quickly. So even as I was trying to explain that, it loaded everything. And let me go across and you'll see that we start from the marketplace. We show you what type of ads it is. So if you've got a sponsored brand, whether you've got a sponsored products, it's going to display everything together. We don't separate it out because it just makes more work, right? The whole point of Gorilla ROI is to make the work fast and simple and just give you the data on demand. Let's keep scrolling. You've got all the information related to the purchases, the sales, the units sold, whether it's a new person to your brand. You've got the units, you've got the click-through rates, you've got the sold-through rates, you've got the impressions, you've got the CPCs, ACoS, ROAS, and so on, right? We've got the views, the videos if you're running video ads. The seconds. So this goes beyond what any single Amazon report gives, and he pumped and dumped all of this data out from row A to row C. So what's that? 26 letters in the alphabet multiplied by 3 plus C. So whatever that is in the math, right? If I quickly select this entire table, it generated 2,430 cells of data within 10 seconds. And that's only for the campaigns. Now, if I want to take this up a level, and let's say I want to now grab it for the ad groups, I can do the same thing. I'm going to create a new query, select Amazon ads, select that Amazon account again. If I want to pull it for all the marketplaces that this account is registered and advertising in, I can select that. Select the period. Let's do something different. Let's do 60 days. Now, the longer the time period, obviously the more time it's going to take to process that data, but still you'll be able to see how quickly we're able to do that. On the data set, since I want add groups, I'm going to select group. And again, let's not be picky here. I'm going to select metrics for everything. Save, create query. As it's an ad group, I'm going to leave the name like that. If I wanted to, I could have said something like toy store, depending on what my Amazon account name is, right? So that way I can just separate it by the query name and be able to organize it. I'm going to save. And now it's running in the background for the last 60 days for all the Amazon ad groups for this particular account. Okay, it's going to load in a few seconds now. Like I said, we're going through last 60 days. If I was doing last 12 months, now the processing time will still be a little bit slower, but it's not like it's going to take 10 minutes. It'll probably finish in like maybe 15 to 20 seconds, even for that one whole use of data. The big difference in the speed between Gorilla ROI and any other data connector is that we focus so much and so heavily on speed. For us, it's all about speed, because we hate being slowed down in a workflow. Like we're sellers, so we understand that as I'm working on spreadsheets, I don't want to be doing something, I'm in the groove, and then I have to wait 10 minutes to generate a report. I mean, that's just unacceptable. Right? So with that speed factor, we've got all of this information again. All of this data is now updated for the last 60 days as it comes in. It also pulls in the default values. If you want to come back 1 week later, rather than having to re-download everything, it's as simple as going back into your query, back into your Amazon ad data query, and then you can either manually refresh it, or you can set a refresh schedule so that it either refreshes daily, or you can just disable it if you don't want, or you can refresh it manually. Okay, so if I click on this refresh, the Amazon PPC ad groups report, this query that I just created, it's going to refresh in the background. And again, it's going to take about 10 seconds to load. And then once that's done, it's going to repopulate and you've gotten your data again. So it's just that one time where you create this query, and then it's just a set and forget, and it's just going to work in the background. If you use this data now to feed into, say, a dashboard or your own reporting template, then it's just going to update by itself, right? So you can see how much time you're going to save and how flexible this becomes from just a single first-time setup by creating a query. What if I want to, say, bulk edit or make a change? You can do that simply from within the sidebar. Okay, there's a pencil button that you can use to edit the query. And if I click that, let me go back into ad groups, the one that I was working on, edit the query. Let's say I want to change the period from last 60 days over to, say, last 7 days. Okay, I'm going to apply those changes. And then it's going to re-update this entire formula, re-update the data so that everything is now based on this ad group report on the last 7 days. So everything has been recalculated. The date period has been set and updated to the last 7 days. Now that I've shown you how the formulas work, let me backtrack and take you through how to activate the add-in. Right? Go into extensions from Google Sheets. You can go into extensions and then go to add-ons, get add-ons. And then from here, look up Gorilla ROI and then download the one that says Gorilla ROI Data Connector, this black one. So this one is going to be the one that shows you all the sidebar. We have different versions, but those are extra advanced features that we have where you can actually use formulas to load that data. And then once that's been installed and activated, when you hit show sidebar, then this sidebar will load and you'll have the user interface in order to create these queries. While that's waiting, I created another empty tab for keyword because I also want to show you that you can also create specific reports. For the Amazon keywords report, whether it's for sponsored brands or sponsored products, On the pay-per-click side, just go to Amazon Ads Data, select your Amazon account. And you can see that it's just very simple to just follow the process one at a time. It'll take you through it. Once that's done, select your period. Let's do again, say last 30 days, keeping it simple. And then for the data set, let's do keyword this time. Keyword. Select metrics. Again, I want to get everything, or let's switch it up. Campaign, let's do purchases 30 days, sales 30 days, units sold, just clicking some random things here. CPCs, clicks, ACOS, ROAS, spend, conversion rate. Okay, so I've selected all of these so you can click and create your own custom reports. Save and create query. Keywords, again, well, let's give the Amazon account a name and say, let's say like socks are us. Save, run it. It's now going to embed the query, run all that data, and then populate it into this tab that I've created. We don't limit you on how many tabs is created. We don't limit you on how many queries are created. We don't limit you on how many users there are. Okay, and there's only two results in this one. Probably, well, most likely because it's the demo account that I'm using. And so it's not going to have like a big list for you to look at. But still, you can see that it generates based on only the metrics, the data points that I've selected. So if you have a very clear understanding of what reports you need on the ad side, then you can create it without going through and making your sheet really heavy. When compared to other data connectors, we see that they either time out because they try to either load one row at a time. So if you've got, say, 1,000 keywords in your report, then it's going to try and load 1,000 rows one at a time, and it takes like 1 per second. So it does become a very heavy process for all the other data connectors. Now let me try and reproduce something using the advanced feature that we have. So I've got this. I've got some pre-loaded examples here. I'm going to create a formula called Gorilla Ads Stats. And we have so many different functions that I understand that it can be overwhelming. But once you go through our documentation and you see like what type of formulas that we have, a lot of the people that use our formulas, they don't go back to the point and click simply because this is so powerful and flexible. You could get pinpoint data, feed it into any existing spreadsheet that you have, and then pretty much automate the process and that data dynamically loading from the get-go. So ad stats, let's say I want to pull it for this account. Okay, and you can see that I'm clicking to select a reference. If I wanted to, I could have selected or typed in manually test seller 2. But the problem is this, like the whole benefit of having a spreadsheet is that you use references so that if you change something in a specific cell, everything gets updated dynamically, right? Rather than if I was to leave this like this, and if I make a change and I want to change it to say something like the sock store, I don't want to be typing this in manually here if I've got like 100 different formulas. So by doing it, by using references like that, and if you're advanced, boom, press F4, you're going to lock that in, press comma, and then it's going to take you to the next period where the next input, which is period. So I want to select last week. And this is why I have this at the top here. It's my inputs bar. Think of it like that. Comma to move on to the next variable for the marketplace. Now again, just to show you as an example, I can type in inside quotation marks, US, comma, and then the data point. So what is a data point that I want to load? Let's see in the documentation, I can go into, here we go, data point is highlighted in green. And let's say I want to look up, say, spend, comma. And for the product, it's an optional field. If I wanted to see a particular SKU for all the spend for this particular product in the last week, then I could select that SKU and it's going to output the final number of what that spend was. I don't think there's going to be anything, what that was for last week. Oh, there it was. So it's saying that last week for this particular SKU, the spend was $48.27. Now, if I change this to say yesterday, I wonder if this will work. Because I've made it dynamic and it's referencing the cell, the formula updates by itself right away like that. Okay, so let's see if I want to, let's create another one. Gorilla underscore add, again, I want to keep it simple, add stats, this particular account, comma, for yesterday, comma, for the US marketplace, and then for the data point, I'm still manually typing in here, but let's say I could have done CTR, enter, and now it's going to give me the CTR for yesterday for this account for the US marketplace, and it's going to give me that. Now, I didn't specify a product, and so what this CTR is, it's going to give it to me across the entire account, right? So this is the level of flexibility and control that you have with formulas where you can pretty much go in and customize it however you want. So summing up, we've gone through a quick way of showing you how you can generate, say, the Amazon PPC reports by campaigns, ad groups, keywords. Same thing if I wanted to do it for the product. I've also shown you how you can do it by using formulas to give you that fine control. So if you're sick of going into Amazon, going into your dashboards, trying to work your way through generating reports and then waiting and then creating and combining everything, give Gorilla ROI a chance, give it a go, see how much it can improve your workflow, and I will see you on the other side.